Today is not ordinary. Today is position. Today is charged with possibility. The moment you opened your eyes, momentum was released into your hands. This day did not arrive by accident. It arrived with purpose, with expectation, with an assignment that only you can fulfill. You are standing at the edge of a new decision, and decisions are the birthplace of transformation. You don't begin this day reacting to life. You begin it commanding direction. You set the tone. You establish the standard. You choose how energy flows, how focus sharpens, how confidence rises. This is the day you stop asking if you're ready and start moving as if readiness has already been settled. There is power in alignment. When your thoughts, words, and actions move together, resistance weakens, doubt loses its grip, momentum begins to build quietly at first, then unmistakably. You don't need permission to operate in clarity. You don't need approval to walk in authority over your time, your effort, your vision. You set the tone the moment you become aware of yourself in the day, before circumstances speak, before distractions compete for your attention, before demands begin to pull at you. Your internal posture has already begun shaping outcomes. The way you think, the expectations you carry, and the energy you allow into your mind quietly determine how the day unfolds. Tone is not created by events. It is established by intention. When you choose clarity over confusion, you immediately narrow the distance between where you are and where you want to be. A focused mind does not waste strength reacting to noise. It evaluates, selects, and moves forward with purpose. This is how ordinary moments begin to produce extraordinary results, because intention gives structure, reminders that time itself responds to discipline. Every decision you make early in the day sends signals forward. Those signals inform your confidence, your pace, and your ability to respond under pressure. If you begin from hesitation, everything after must fight to overcome it. If you begin from resolve, obstacles lose their power to destabilize you. Momentum is born from the first conscious choice to lead rather than follow. Your tone becomes the filter through which challenges pass. When it is strong, challenges become tasks. When it is weak, tasks become burdens. The difference is not in the difficulty of the work, but in the authority with which you approach it. Authority is internal before it ever becomes visible, and it is reinforced each time you act in alignment with your goals. Setting the tone also means deciding what you will not allow. Distraction, doubt, and unnecessary comparison have no power unless they are granted access. When you guard your mental environment, you protect your ability to execute consistently. Focus does not happen by accident. It is enforced by deliberate boundaries. The future is not built in grand gestures, but in repeated daily posture. How you treat your time today becomes the pattern your future follows. Discipline practiced in small moments accumulates into mastery. Consistency applied quietly compounds into visible progress. Your tone today writes the instructions your future will follow. Emotional control is part of tone setting. Reactivity drains energy while intentional response preserves it. When you govern your reactions, you maintain clarity even when circumstances are unpredictable. This stability allows you to move through complexity without losing direction or confidence. The way you speak to yourself internally reinforces the tone you establish externally. Self-directed language either sharpens or dulls your edge. When your internal dialogue aligns with strength, focus, and expectation, your actions naturally follow the same pattern. Inner alignment reduces resistance and increases efficiency. Tone setting is also an act of self-respect. It signals that your goals matter enough to be protected, your time is valuable enough to be structured, and your effort is important enough to be intentional. When you honor yourself in this way, you move differently, think differently, and choose differently. Each day offers a fresh opportunity to assert direction rather than drift. Tone is not fixed. It can be reset through conscious awareness and decisive action. The power lies in recognizing that the day does not control you. You shape it through the mindset you choose to lead with. Pressure does not arrive to expose weakness. It arrives to activate what already exists beneath the surface. What feels heavy is often what forces strength to rise. Capacity is rarely visible in comfort because comfort does not demand expansion. It is pressure that pulls hidden ability forward and makes potential undeniable. When expectations increase, something inside you adjusts to meet them. Your thinking sharpens, your awareness heightens, and your focus narrows to what truly matters. Pressure removes excess and distraction, leaving behind efficiency and clarity. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable when you recognize that growth is taking place in real time. Many mistake pressure for a signal to retreat, when in reality, it is an invitation to rise. Resistance often appears just before new capability becomes accessible. The discomfort is not evidence that you are unprepared. It is proof that you are being stretched beyond familiar limits. Stretching is not damage. It is development. Under pressure, habits are revealed. What you practice consistently surfaces instinctively. This is why preparation matters, even when results are not immediately visible. Pressure simply brings your internal structure to the surface and tests its strength, showing you what has been built and what can be refined. Capacity expands when demand exceeds convenience. You begin to think creatively, solve problems differently, and access discipline you didn't know you possessed. Pressure reorganizes priorities and eliminates wasted effort. What once took hours now takes minutes because focus has been refined. Emotional endurance is also developed through pressure. Learning to remain composed, intentional, and steady when outcomes are uncertain builds internal authority. Each moment you choose control over reaction strengthens your ability to lead yourself through complexity without losing direction. Pressure also clarifies purpose. When unnecessary options fall away, what remains becomes obvious. This clarity is not accidental, it is forged. Pressure removes ambiguity and forces alignment between intention and action, narrowing your path to what truly matters. The mind adapts under sustained demand. What once felt impossible becomes routine through repetition and persistence. Capacity grows quietly, almost unnoticed, until you realize you are operating at a level that previously felt unreachable. This is not sudden transformation, but accumulated strength. There is intelligence in pressure. It teaches timing, pacing, and resilience. It trains you to distribute energy wisely and conserve effort where it is not needed. Over time, pressure becomes less threatening and more instructive, shaping skill and awareness simultaneously. What you survive with focus becomes what you master. Each time you endure pressure without surrendering clarity, your internal limits shift. Capacity does not announce itself. It is revealed through endurance, adaptation, and sustained forward movement. Action is the catalyst that turns intention into movement and thought into reality. Without action, even the clearest vision remains dormant. The moment you move, something shifts, not just externally, but internally. Confidence begins to form through motion, and uncertainty starts to lose its hold as progress replaces hesitation. Momentum is rarely created through waiting for perfect conditions. It builds when small, deliberate steps are taken despite incomplete information. Each action provides feedback, and that feedback sharpens direction. What once felt unclear begins to take shape simply because movement has begun. Possibility expands when action disrupts stagnation. Inaction narrows options while movement multiplies them. When you act, New variables appear, connections, insights, opportunities that could not exist without engagement. Forward motion reveals pathways that planning alone cannot uncover. Action trains the mind to trust execution. Overthinking fades as experience replaces speculation. Each completed step reinforces belief in your ability to follow through, strengthening discipline and reducing fear. Consistency transforms effort into rhythm, and rhythm sustains progress. Momentum also reduces resistance. What felt heavy at the start becomes lighter as motion continues. Energy follows movement, not the other way around. The body and mind adapt to action by generating focus, endurance, and clarity to support it. Taking action shifts identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone preparing and begin seeing yourself as someone doing. This shift changes how challenges are interpreted and how setbacks are handled. Obstacles become adjustments rather than stopping points. Action clarifies priorities by testing them against reality. Ideas are refined through execution, and unnecessary complexity is stripped away. What remains is what works. Progress B becomes practical rather than theoretical, grounded in experience rather than assumption. Each action compounds. Small steps taken consistently accumulate into visible change. Momentum grows quietly at first, then unmistakably, carrying you forward even on days when motivation is low. Systems begin to support movement once it has been established. Possibility responds to commitment. When you demonstrate seriousness through action, resources align, timing improves, and confidence strengthens. The environment reacts to movement, adjusting to accommodate consistency and intent. Action transforms uncertainty into information. Instead of guessing what might work, you learn what does. Each move forward increases awareness and expands capacity, making future decisions sharper and more decisive.